Hey, Mooch, did you do it yet?
Oh, I'm about to. David, you're debating Captain Marvel.
Fuck!
Alright, so today, David and Joe are going head to head on the Better Hero movie. Who is more badass?
Who let him host?
Look, man, we don't have a big budget.
Right.
He was available and also at our dinner table. So
That's true. All of those things are true.
Alright, we'll start with David.
Captain Marvel is the more badass hero because she literally has photon beams shooting out of her fists. Not to mention that her whole body is covered with this kind of energy that explodes, also makes her almost invincible in the movie, and she can fly, and she's super strong. I mean, she's all around, she does everything. I would say she's more badass.
She does that for only 15% of the movie.
Than some little robot.
I think Alita's more badass because, I mean, she literally took down a giant robot with one arm. She had half of her body chopped off.
It literally ripped her into pieces, but like, it's cool.
Yeah, and she overcame that. And she fought this dude with nothing. She also walked into a bar filled with the most dangerous people in her city and challenged each and every one of them to fight her at once and beat them.
That's cute. But Captain Marvel saved an entire planet. When Ronan and all his ships showed up, she just jumped in the air and said, flexed on him, said nope, and then he turned around and left.
Well, she could be more powerful than Alita, but not more badass. Alita and just her character, her emotion when she's fighting, you can just tell she wants it bad. Captain Marvel looks like she doesn't even want to fight.
She's not challenged. That's why she doesn't need to show anything more than that. Alita's.
Exactly. It's less interesting to watch, like Superman. Why do people like Batman more?
Alright, so I guess that takes it for round one.
Okay, now a word from our sponsors.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know, just fucking make something up.
You never gave me a script.
Dude, just make something up.
No, fuck that. So round two, who had a better story arc and went through the most change?
Okay, I'll say Captain Marvel had the better story arc and went through more change because not only did it show her grow up from a small child all the way to an adult and become some badass fighter pilot, and she was very successful. We know that because she was chosen for a special mission, which she went into. And eventually she loses her memory and then has to grow all over again and be retrained as this Kree warrior by Jude Law's character, Von Rogg. Just going through 2 cycles of training and growing and getting stronger and more powerful and all over again just to find out that everything you knew was a lie. And then she has to change and adapt and still try to be a good person while dealing with all these changes and growing past all that and fighting her mentor. I feel like so she goes through 3 different cycles of change. That's why she has more than Alita.
The very beginning of Captain Marvel, they showcase her as a strong warrior. And when the movie ends, Captain Marvel is a strong warrior with the same facial expression as she had in the first scene.
Her change is internal. It's not, her change doesn't happen here. It just happens here.
Well, she's still a strong warrior lady at the beginning and at the end. Alita starts off as dead. And
just a head.
As just a head and a heart. And she gets a body and is just a feeble, she's just a feeble young lady who's learning the world. Learning what chocolate is and how to speak to people. Learning what these creatures are or these robots that invade this city that she has no idea like the rules of. She also lost her memory. But when she ends the movie, she is a strong warrior with just a body that heals, and she is ready to take on the world. Literally anything. She will fight anyone by the end of this movie. And at the beginning, she's just like, oh, I'm just born.
She even ate the orange peel.
Yeah, she eats an orange peel. Yeah, see? Papa for Mooch. Add it to the...
Right, so round 3. Who had better villains? Like, a bigger challenge for the hero?
Okay. Captain Marvel has the better villains because on one hand, she has, just very briefly, her minor villain is Ronan, and he's only there for a minute, maybe 2 minutes. And he's this conqueror, just crusading all across the galaxy, destroying, just wiping out civilizations, and she destroys him, or she scares him off, like in the quickness. We saw how powerful he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. That whole movie, I mean, he straight up killed Drax's family. Drax tried to run up on him, and he just got, like, swatted away. Like he was a fly. Like, he's... To the entire Guardians of the Galaxy crew, they can only destroy him because of...
Each other.
The power of friendship and dance. But she didn't have friends or dancing moves, so... Yeah, she used what she had. Got rid of him. And that was just a minor villain. That was just... Her minor villain can wipe out entire civilizations. Her major villain, her mentor...
Her minor villain was established in a separate movie.
Yeah. She has some advantages. And Von Rogg, aka Jude Law, is far prettier than any villain Alita had. That's for sure.
What about the guy with the little beard?
Edward Norton looked like an 80-year-old scientist. He was not his best self in that movie.
That's true.
I wish they would have showed him more. But Jude Law, aka Von Rogg, he groomed and taught Captain Marvel everything she knew about being a Kree soldier. And he groomed her into this warrior. And then to find out that he was the one who caused her to lose her memory. And he was using her. And that kind of internal turmoil, I feel like it is stronger than anything Alita had to go through in her movie. This is, somebody you trust, you look up to. This is somebody who molded you, and now you find out they're your enemy. And I think because of that, she had the more compelling villain, even though he wasn't strong enough to really stand up to her.
Right.
But it caused her more need.
I think there's something less satisfying about watching a movie where the villain poses no threat. Mr. Mentor over here, she can kill him in literally any of the things that she has, that she possesses. Any of her powers can kill him immediately. And so, yeah, he's a cool, well-established villain, but he doesn't bother me, and he doesn't bother Captain Marvel. If she's not bothered by him, I don't feel threatened by him. She could take him out super easy. Alita's villains are hard to fight. She is this feeble little creature at the beginning, and even when she gets, like, her powers, these other robots and people robots that she has to fight are just way better equipped than she is. They've got this awesome sword that's made from different technology. This dude keeps getting stronger every time she almost beats him. She can't even beat him before he gets stronger. She fights him, fails, and then he gets even stronger. Then she fights him, fails,
those
and he
dangly
gets
fingers.
Yeah, he's got these dangly fingers, and she still overcomes that. And you don't know if she's gonna be able to. I mean, she's probably gonna be able to, and then she does. But you don't know if she can take him on, especially when he rips her in half.
And that's all very interesting.
They also have a villain that they set up a villain for the next movie. So, I mean, they just kind of throw that in there, and he's lingering throughout the whole...
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Captain Marvel also has a villain set up for the next movie. And he's been set up for, 19 movies?
They don't even mention him in her movie.
But you know he's coming.
Yeah, yes,
so
we know.
If you want to talk about setup villains, my boy Thanos. And he got his own...
He's got his own dingly fingers.
He's got his own fingers.
Yeah.
Thanos, I mean, he's such a bigger, stronger,
of
more
course,
intimidating menace.
If only he was in the movie.
If we're
you're
talking,
arguing over.
If only Edward Norton was actually in Alita and not talking through many other people. But that's chill.
He could be as strong as Thanos. We know nothing about him. He can be anybody he wants. He possesses other people, so he could be that entire city up there, Rick and Morty style. Probably not, but we don't know. Just like we don't know anything about Thanos. If you just watch Captain Marvel and nothing else.
Now to go to the complete opposite of that section, who had the best supporting cast?
Captain Marvel has the better supporting cast because Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson. I mean, that's the obvious, right?
Mm.
But then we have the character Maria Rambeau, I think, and she I feel like has a more emotional connection and a more convincing connection than Hugo did with Alita. On, she had a small role, but you could tell they were really close.
Yeah.
They were best friends, possibly more, and
she knew the true Captain Marvel before
she knew her. Yeah, she knew her before the change, after the change. She knew every stage of Captain Marvel, and she was always there. She was even her co-pilot. Even though she has a young daughter, she was willing to risk it all, her own life, knowing she's a parent, for her friend. That connection runs deep. And she was there. She supported her on an emotional level.
Right.
Samuel L. Jackson supported the movie on a comedic level, on an entertainment value. Every second that man's on screen is entertaining. And I mean, he provides that spark and that connection to the rest of the MCU.
Well, Captain Marvel's supporting cast creates retcons and plot holes for the rest of the MCU, and frustrating things that we find out, like Samuel L. Jackson losing his eye to a cat. Man, I would have liked him not to be in the movie. if that could have been taken out, I would have rather him not be there. Alita, she's got really only 2 supporting cast members. I mean, there's other supporting cast members like Marshala Ali. I'm gonna butcher his name entirely. No. I love him. He's great, and he's a great supporting cast member. I wish he had more to do, but while he was on screen, he played 2 different characters. He played the big bad that is to be, and he also plays his own little bad, where he convinces other people to do his dirty work for him by paying them. She's also got Christoph Waltz, and he's just a great guy. You know, he's been in lots of other movies. He always does a great job supporting anybody, and he just brings the heat, man. He brings that emotion in this movie. He lost his daughter. He uses Alita to kind of cope with that loss. And he finds peace in Alita, even though she's like the opposite of peaceful. But it's like you just get the dynamic between the 2 of them, and it's sweet. And my boy Hugo,
see that's all nice. Christoph Waltz, he adds points. There's a few characters there in Alita's supporting cast that add points, and then Hugo comes along and subtracts a lot of those points because as a love interest, honestly. I think that scene near the end, man, I didn't want her to risk anything to save him because you root for her way more. She's the better character. He's not really a good person. He's not all that interesting. He just does stuff, and that's fine.
They did such a good job setting up Alita and making you care for her that what she wants, I want for her. She wants to be happy, and I want her to be happy. And if this guy makes her happy, then you know what? Go after him, save him at all costs. He is kind of the damsel in distress at times, but I mean, hey, big ass robots coming after him, and he's got nothing. I mean,
he was a human.
He was a human. He's got little grenades, he had little like shock grenades.
Yeah.
He's also kind of a bad guy.
He's just a bad guy.
He's a good
the bad guy
character.
with the bad haircut.
He has a great haircut.
And Ben Mendelsohn, he was also there in the supporting cast, and he provided information. He provided a nice little plot twist. He supported the story in various ways.
By being the plot twist.
He supported all kinds of things.
Yes.
That ends it for Best Supporting Cast. And now for the last question, what a more emotional impact, like one you could like connect with.
Okay, so who had a more...
Hey, you've gone first all of the other times. It's Alita's turn now to kick it off. Alita, when I left the theater, I felt like I can go whoop some ass. And, you know, Captain Marvel's got all these powers, but when I left the theater from Captain Marvel, I was like, oh, that's it. I'm
going to go cut off my arm and become a robot.
Yeah, I walked out and I was like, oh, nice. Can't wait to watch Endgame. And forget Captain Marvel.
How many times have you seen Captain Marvel?
Twice.
Yeah, so why'd you just instantly see it again? Huh, yeah.
I had to. I had to. I had to think about some stuff. And then my thoughts were solidified. Alita I've watched 2 or 3 times. I don't honestly remember. But it was more than once. I think it was 3 times. Maybe it was 10 times. But I left that theater. I wanted a sword. I wanted to flip around and do her cool-ass kicks. And beat some ass. I just felt like I could do anything because
some oranges
with the peel. Because this character in this movie just showed me that, like, against all odds, like Shadow of the Colossus, you could take on anything with enough willpower. That just impacted me, man. Stuck with me. I have an Alita poster in my room. I fight robots all the time now because of her. Just on the street. You know those...
Joe, stop. That's a mailbox.
Yeah, you know the, like, meters on the streets? I fuck those things up a lot now.
And stoplights.
And
He
stoplights.
just hurts himself.
Yeah, no, don't even worry about what I do to stoplights. Oh, man.
Anyways, Captain Marvel has the more emotional impact because throughout the movie you see her getting knocked down.
Oh, I didn't see
Yes.
Captain Marvel have any emotion. Oh, you're saying the movie did. Nice.
We didn't flip a coin. To see who picked sides. Captain Marvel has the more emotional impact because every time she gets knocked down, she gets back up.
With the same face.
Damn, it's a 2-on-1. And that montage at the end where it shows her get back up and then look straight into the camera.
Stop. Everybody instantly gets furious.
Finding out her mentor fucked her over and she showed no emotion. She wasn't.
Finding out that this horrible thing happened to her and she went. And then when she was happy and sad, she went.
She can't show emotions because her memory got wiped and she doesn't understand how to do them.
All right.
Obviously.
Forgot.
God, this is tough. This is rough, guys. Captain Marvel is the more emotional movie just because of that montage. When she gets back up every time, it sent chills all over my body. There's a lot of little moments in Alita, like when she tries to give the guy her heart, and it's cute, funny, whatever. But this was a
It wasn't
serious...
funny, it was intense. She said it was intense, and he said it too. In the movie.
When Captain Marvel stood up, you understood that she was the hero they need to fight Thanos. Because that's what this movie is all about. Building up a character to help with the bigger fight. And knowing how she became who she was the entire purpose of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So her standing back up.
That was the entire purpose of Homecoming? It's the
And-
exact story of Homecoming. They just came out with that. It was Spider-Man becoming Spider-Man.
Yeah, but Spider-Man got pretty much his ass whooped by the Vulture, whereas Captain Marvel wrecked everything in her path.
Exactly, but what was more impactful? I don't know.
Captain Marvel.
Captain.
What do you think, Farmooch? Tell us your thoughts.
I mean, Captain Marvel had more groovy music.
That's true.
That's what we're about.
It's called Just a Girl by Andrew.
Yeah, that soundtrack. I was feeling it. You youngsters over here might have not felt it.
Hey, I knew
But-
the songs.
I knew the
I
songs
was
and
feeling
enjoyed
that
them.
soundtrack. I thought it was cool.
I enjoyed it more than the movie.
And the 90s are tight.
Tight.
During every subject that we talked about, I'm going to put up a poll, and you guys vote on it, because I want to know what you guys think. And let us know, who do you thought? I feel like Captain Marvel was the more badass hero movie. Agree with me.
I think Alita was the more badass hero movie. I mean, come on. Watch both of them and just, which one made you feel something? I don't think it was Captain Marvel. Agree with me.
Yeah. So comment what you guys think and agree with them. Like, comment, subscribe. So, who's more powerful? I'd have to give it to Captain Marvel for that one since, she can literally turn into like a little energy source for a bit. But for the better story arc, yeah, Alita did go through a lot. She was cut in half. Better villains, there was a lot more for Alita, so she takes that one. Best supporting cast kind of differs. There's more supporting characters, like on Captain Marvel's side. But I feel like there's a better cast on Alita's side.